There has been a change in the environment that has moved away from the original Constitution's protection for our sovereignty. Sovereignty has moved from the individual back to the state. Much like the absolute monarchs of old, our government bureaucrats, those who run the federal regulatory agencies, rule in a legislative, executive, and judicial way that is absolute, much like kings.
They are the people that want to say to you and to me, you do this, you do that, and you do that because it's good for you. We know it's good for you. We are the masters of society, and we're doing this for your own benefit. That's the mentality that we're facing. These are the collectivists, and they're building a world government, literally a world government based on the model of collectivism.
The justification for these restrictions on practitioners and on preparations is that, oh, we need to protect the public. And I think that there's great value in that. There's always going to be people trying to take advantage of any situation. And most of them are large corporations that do it all the time, even with all of the rules.
We really were not going to medical school to become glorified drug reps, which is what most physicians have turned out to be. They only have their prescription pad in their toolbox, and if that's the only tool that they have, the only remedy that they have for any type of ailment is another drug.
You have the head of the Food and Drug Administration, who is really a king over all foods, drugs, dietary supplements, medical devices, and biologics in the United States, and the power is immense. That was never to be under the original constitutional plan.
Larry, can you imagine? Mr. Kahomana's people scarcely know the meaning of the word sick. Sounds incredible, doesn't it?
Sure does. I must remember not to go there when I become a doctor.
They maintain perfect health through the use of just one basic medicine.
This?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It's a kind of tea.
Smells like peppermint.
Well, it's made up of special herbs, and the formula has been carefully guarded and handed down from one generation to another.
Mother, so that's what this is. The secret of health, all the way from the South Seas. How much?
Well, $4.50. But, Larry, you can't expect...
Mom, a quack is a quack, whether he comes from the South Seas or lives right here in the city. All he's interested in is taking money from people.
Now, Larry, you know that I haven't been feeling very well lately, and according to Mr. Kahomanu, this tea is just what I need. And
Mom,
so...
if you're not feeling well, go see Dr. Evans. He's a licensed MD. You can trust him. The fellow that told you this stuff sounds like a phony.
Oh, Larry, don't be silly.
And we are being gradually drawn up into it because of one crisis or another crisis, because we've got to surrender our liberties and our freedom of choice in order to have protection. And that's the game they use to convince us that this is all for our own good.
When you get into integrative medicine, you know that there's a lot of other tools in your toolbox. You can look at the body structurally from an alignment perspective, from osteopathic manipulation and chiropractic. You can look at people with acupuncture, looking at their energy patterns. You need to look at their physiology in terms of how people detox. How do you digest, absorb, and eliminate? What happens in your liver and your kidneys and in your colon when you're trying to process things, and the food that you eat, the vitamins you take, and the water you drink.
The real be-all, end-all of it, from a consumer's point of view, if you want to use that word, is that it's less of an issue if you actually know the people that you're getting your stuff from. So if you live in a community that has an herbalist, and you can see that herbalist, and you can go to that herbalist's apothecary, or whatever they want to call that, you can actually see what's happening there. They're a member of your community. You know how they're making their medicines because you can see it around you.